A Canucks insider revealed a move is incoming, as a recent report has revealed the Vancouver Canucks have been actively looking to bring back a former Vancouver Canuck and former Stanley Cup champion, as Ryan Johnson and both Sedins look to not only add more character to the organization, but more veteran leadership with Stanley Cup experience. We're going to break down everything you need to know on the Canucks being linked to this former defenseman looking to return to the organization, and Ryan Johnson announces a new position within the hockey ops and naming a new veteran advisor to join the organization. We're going to break down everything you need to know on this recent move, plus an update on so much more in this episode. You're not going to want to miss it. So let's just dive straight into it. Now, before we get into the report on this former defenseman looking to rejoin the organization, General Manager Ryan Johnson announced today the club has hired Ryan Stewart as the team's director of hockey strategy and player evaluation and as a pro scout. Now, looking at this, of course, the Vancouver Canucks have made multiple changes to the organization. Two new presidents, of course, twins that we all know and love. Ryan Johnson joining the organization as the general manager, but he continues to add more pieces to a team that is looking to build out one of the best hockey ops groups. Ryan brings a championship pedigree and a wealth of hockey knowledge to the brand new position. He is someone we'll lean on internally to help provide insight and information for our front office. With all his varied experience wearing a number of different hats, Ryan is a big asset to our group moving forward. Now, looking at Ryan Stewart, a lot of time spent in the NHL, plus as someone that has worked quite a bit in the NHL as well, the experience has been oozing out since starting the ECHL. As an assistant general manager and coach, jumped into the general manager position, a video coach, and worked his way into the director of professional scouting for the Chicago Blackhawks before a senior advisor for pro personnel with the San Jose Sharks. Now, looking at the Canucks, a very inexperienced group when you're looking at the whole breakdown of Ryan Johnson, a first-time general manager. The Sedins as first-time presidents, though very good hockey minds that have played the game and have been dominant within the game as well. Manny Malhotra and a full new staff of first-time assistant or head coach of an NHL team. This is a team that adding advisors like this is something that Ryan Johnson needs to continue to do as they look to build out a new cupboard of not only prospects and bringing in new insight of information for the front office so the Vancouver Canucks can get through with this rebuild and hopefully one day get us a championship within Vancouver. But fans, let us know your thoughts down in the comments on bringing in a new position to the Canucks. Of course, a lot of inexperienced guys within the organization, but Ryan Stewart stepping in is an A-plus hire, a guy that's worked with the Chicago Blackhawks, with the San Jose Sharks, and of course, San Jose Sharks got a lot of luck in the lottery, so hey, maybe Ryan Stewart is a guy that's going to bring that 8-ball magic with them to Vancouver. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments on the recent hiring, your thoughts on just this team as a whole with Ryan Johnson at the helm. But this goes straight into a report coming from Rick Dhaliwal speaking on former Vancouver Canuck Ben Hutton. Agents are calling Vancouver on some sort of remaining UFAs left. Ben Hutton, to me, is interesting. I did hear there has been conversation with Hutton's agent and the Canucks, but not sure where it goes. Now, Ben Hutton, someone that joined the Vancouver Canucks back in the heyday when he joined the team and was electric on the back end, scoring 25 points in his debut with the Canucks. Now, looking at the 25 points, having one goal in 2015-16, since then has continued on and carved out a role within the NHL as a depth defenseman that won a Stanley Cup with the Vegas Golden Knights, and now a UFA looking for his chance to return to Vancouver and add an impact. Now, looking at the stats, of course, when it comes to total points, this is not going to be a guy that's going to go out and put you up 60 points, but 15 points, including 6 goals with the Vegas Golden Knights in 55 games, 55 blocks, 28 hits. The biggest thing with Ben Hutton is bringing in an experienced guy that has been around the game and someone that, of course, has that experience going out to win a Stanley Cup with the Vegas Golden Knights and ringing off a decent season with 12 points during the season. We know this is a guy that's been around and knows what it takes. 575 games in the NHL, 139 points, eating a lot of minutes. The average time on ice sitting at 18 minutes and 16 seconds. This is the exact piece the Vancouver Canucks need to continue to add to the organization, and I don't mean in the standpoint to make them over competitive again, but even looking at a guy with less experience, a smaller body that was in Nick Blankenburg that jumped from the Avalanche system into Nashville, or sorry, the vice versa on that, fetching a 5th round pick, Ben Hutton, a bigger defenseman that has the experience, Stanley Cup winning experience. This is a guy, a low risk, high reward contract that you can bring into this Canucks organization and of course use as a trade chip when you get close to deadline. If you want to flip a player like this, I'm sure he would sign for sub $2 million. And even if you got to go out and pay a little extra to get Ben Hutton within this organization as a guy that you flip at deadline that can go out and maybe fetch you a 4th, a 3rd round pick to add to the cupboard, the Vancouver Canucks currently sit with the 3rd lowest payroll, just ahead of the Seattle Kraken, who Patrik Allvin now works for, and the Detroit Red Wings. This is going to be a team that's going to suck for quite some time. We know this, but a team that has a lot of money. And to look at the reports, of course, we've seen from Patrick Johnson and other names saying that the Canucks want to shed salary, but looking at Ryan Johnson, my last video, speaking on how they're fine with adding more assets, getting draft capital, flipping players. This is the team that needs to continue adding. You would like to go into the next couple of drafts with extra 1st round picks. You already have seconds, you have a lot of 4th, of course, with the Artur Shilovs trade, with the Dakota Joshua, the other 2nd and 4th in this upcoming draft, and that final one from Dallas coming in the Tyler Myers trade. Adding even more to this, if you can hit on a decent prospect in the 4th round in one of the next 3 drafts, you're accelerating your timeline. And a guy like Ben Hutton, again, Ben Hutton, a piece that's been with this team, an exciting piece when he was here, is not going to be and every day NHL player. Of course, you have Victor Mancini waiting to get into the lineup. Ben Hutton can step in as the extra left-handed defenseman on this team as well. This is not my lineup. It's coming straight from Puckpedia. Of course, I've seen the comments. Aturatu is going to be on this team, but the Canucks need to go out and look at the remaining UFAs, bring in the guys like they did with Paul Cotter, a piece that you can easily flip at that trade deadline to get those extra 2nds, 3rds. If one of them explodes, maybe you get a 1st, a conditional, whatever it might be. The Canucks need to continue going out, weaponizing their cap space. Plus, you have a lot of room to work with when you're looking at the back end. Luke Schenn is coming off an expiring deal at the end of the season. If you get Ben Hutton on a 1-year deal, it doesn't affect your cap space. If you give the guy $2 million, let it get to deadline, eat half the salary. This is going to be a contract that a lot of contending teams are going to be looking to add to their organization as a depth piece. Teams deal with injuries. The Canucks dealt with a lot last season, so getting the extra body in wouldn't hurt the team, no pun intended, on being hurt by fans. Let me know your thoughts down below. Not only on Ryan Stewart joining the organization in a role that's going to help with this organization moving forward, but your thoughts on maybe bringing back Ben Hutton to the team. Of course, not a needle mover, but someone that can get you a valuable asset when it comes to the draft. Fans, let me know your thoughts on everything down in the comments. I love chatting Canucks with you guys. If you made it this far, hit that free subscribe button. We're almost at our goal of 10,000 subscribers. I've been your host, Mark Bye. Take care, Canucks fans, and I'll see you in the next one.